I have a lot to say on the Ranger. One, yay, because now Rangers get the same thing that Bards do, which is a spell list that you get to change per long rest. You get to, just, like a cleric or a druid, which is great because that's what paladins get. So, why are we still making Rangers a worse paladin, right? So this is a lot better, and I like it. And then it's also the primary spell list, which means we get more spells because we get everything druids do, which is nice. And now let's look at their features. So they get favorite enemy, expertise, and spellcasting at first level, right? So expertise is what they got, is essentially exchange for favorite terrain. We talked about Tasha's, which is fine, and because that's the expert classes, that's what we get that, so that's solid. Next, second level, we just get a fighting style, but we get spellcasting at first level, so having less is fine. Fighter subclass third level, you know the trick, extra attack fifth level. 7th level, you get roving. That's the kind of the weird one for the replacement abilities for like favorite terrain and stuff. It's just you get 5. You get a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, which is also your swimming speed, and then 5 more base movement. And then I think, yeah, so I mean, well, your speed is just by 10 feet, so it's fine. It's kind of falls by those kind of middle levels that don't really give you much. And then at 11th level, you get tireless, which is essentially when you take a short or long rest, you can give yourself 1d8 plus proficiency modifier, temporary HP, or you can decrease exhaustion by 1 when you finish a short rest, which is nice. It's just a nice little boost. I honestly wish this was earlier, because by the time you're at the 11th level, there are a lot better sources of temporary HP. Like, if this was, you increase your maximum HP, that would be nicer, because, like, it's fine. The thing is, like, this was a nice ability when it first came out, because it's like, oh, it's better than what Rangers had prior, but it's still subpar. Like, just, I feel like roving and tireless are fine abilities. They're just... So then they get Nature's Veil, which is you can expend a spell slot to go invisible until the end of your next turn. So, and it's as a bonus action. So essentially this lasts for 2 turns. Bonus action, you can use your action to attack. You don't lose invisibility. And so this can be a first level spell slot. And even though it's only, like, honestly, this is pretty staying solid. I mean, it's 13th level, so we're already at a point. 15th level, you get blind sight for 30 feet, which is fine. Again, a lot of these abilities just feel subpar for the Ranger. Oh, 9th level, you get expertise. This has kind of been a persistent thing where 1st or 2nd level, you get expertise as an expert class, and then 9th level, you get expertise again. But let's take a step back, because what favorite enemy does this round is a lot better. Essentially, you get Hunter's Mark spell, are always prepared. It doesn't count against the spells you know, and you don't have to concentrate on it. Though it would, end when you're incapacitated. This is what we wanted from, they had it in the Unearthed Arcana, they took it away, and now it's back. The no concentration. Now, the thing is, this doesn't stack. I mean, this doesn't increase over time, and does take a bonus action activate, unlike before when it's just an act. But I feel like it's a fair trade-off. And then, interestingly enough, the capstone ability is Foe Slayer, which is Hunter's Mark deals a d10 to its target rather than d6. And the fact that this isn't concentration, which essentially means, as a bonus action, designate someone to deal a d10 extra damage every time you hit them, which is, again, for capstone, it's fine. It's like, paladins get that freaking their epic transformations from their subclass. Like, so, but I like it. It's better than what they had before. So this, I feel like Ranger it's better, but I feel like it could still be even better. My complaint, however, lies in the subclass. So they killed Hunter. Hunter used to be so fun because of how versatile it was. You got 3 options for each. It was really interesting. You could build very specific sort of, good against lots of enemies, good against a single target. All of these kind of like good at battlefield maneuvering, good at all these different things. But now they took all that customization away, which makes me furious. Essentially, it's just a kind of a worse version of Monster Hunter, or Monster Slayer, whatever, the other one, other Hunter subclass, except this doesn't get spells. So originally you had 3 options, right? And one of them was if you had a damaged enemy once per turn, you could deal D8 extra damage. So it's essentially the same thing. If it's missing hit points once per turn, you can deal extra D8 damage. So it's fine. It's worse, essentially. 6th level, you get Hunter's Lore, which is, immunities, resistances, vulnerabilities of a creature hit with your Hunter's Mark. The fact that this is a cost feature is nice because you get to just use it, but well, anyways, let's just keep going. 10th level, multi-tack. Well, that sounds interesting. Hold your horses, my friends. It means we always have Conjure Barrage prepared. And we can cast it using any spell slot level. If it's 1st or 2nd, the damage reduced for each spell slot level will be below 3rd. I don't mind this. Just make it some other subclass. I don't want my Hunter being this. I mean, again, it's backwards compatible, so you could just use the old Hunter. But it's like one thing that upsets me, like with some of the new subclasses, with Hunter especially, is it'll be like, oh, you can cast a spell and you can do it in these new cool ways. It's like, okay, great, but it's essentially just giving me more of the same. It's not giving me a new ability. That's, it's like I don't have to be this subclass to do that. That's my main gripe with it. I don't know if other people have that same gripe, but that's just me. And 14th level, if you're hit by attack roll, you can use your action to halve the damage against yourself and redirect the other half to one creature you can see within 5 feet of yourself. So, everything's great except the 5 feet, right? So essentially it's like dodging out of the way and it hits someone else, but you're a ranger, right? You're not a fighter or a monk. You're probably ranged, honestly, which is my one gripe with this. Like, why is it? Anyways, I'm not. It's fine. Like, it's if I were judging it as a fighter or as a ranger subclass on its own, it's fine. If I'm judging it as another version of Hunter, I have a lot more